Hello, everyone. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Harjit Singh, the Managing Director of Tata Teleservices Limited. Mr. Singh has been a very renowned corporate leader for over 3 decades now in the area of corporate strategy, planning, operations, and of course, in creating many new solutions for the MSME sector. Mr. Singh is, I think, from the 96 batch
Yes.
of the Tata Administrative Services, and he's credited with really bringing about a lot of change in Tata Teleservices, especially, as I said, in creating new solutions for the MSME sector. As you know, India today is aiming for a $3 trillion GDP. And as we go about doing that, it's important for us to understand that almost a third of this is going to be attributed to the SME sector. They are the ones that are supposed to bring this to the table. And with that in mind today, I'd like to ask you regarding your journey and what you have been doing in creating specific MSME sector-related solutions from Tata Teleservices in order to really empower them and bring them onto the journey of digital transformation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, first of all, for the kind introduction. I must admit that this is a matter of honor and privilege to be sharing the space with you. Ma'am, your achievements in diverse segments, banking, technology, are well documented and are a source of inspiration for every business leader. So I'm really thankful, and I'm extremely confident that I'll walk away from this interaction with a lot of learnings. Responding to your question, I think firstly what I'll try and do is introduce the company and then possibly set the scene for the segment that both of our companies are sort of interested in. Tata Teleservices is a telco, but unlike the other telcos which have a full spectrum play, our singular focus is the small and medium enterprise segment. And whereas our company has existed in sort of multiple shapes and forms, and there was a point in time where we had a full spectrum play. But in terms of the SME focus, this is not new. This segment, which has grown over a period of time, was created about 20 years ago.
Okay.
We were the first ones to realize and understand that the small and medium enterprises have different requirements, right? Typically, service providers either hand them retail solutions created for the retail segment. In many cases, they try and sell them services which are actually created for the large enterprises. So in this 20 plus years journey, we've worked very closely with small and medium enterprises. We've understood the requirements. We've created products especially for them. And we've even created routes to market, right,
Okay.
which work for the small and medium enterprises. To an extent where, I'm confident in saying that ours is probably the largest set of resources out there focusing, on this segment. In terms of our evolution, like every telco, our core products and services are connectivity, right? This is sort of what we've been providing to small and medium enterprise customers. We connect their multiple offices. We connect their offices to data centers. We give them a communication platform that allows them to work with their set of providers, their customers, and all of it. But over the last 2-3 years, I think just as the segment has evolved, we've also sort of, evolved our products and services. Today, we are increasingly looking at cloud and platform services, which solve fundamental problems for these small and medium enterprises. Whereas previously, our products and services were industry agnostic, today we are trying to understand the specific issues that our customers are facing, and therefore trying to curate solutions for them. Over a period of time, we have a base of about 45,000 customers, which in the overall scheme of things may not seem very large. But if you look at fixed line services, ours is the company which has the biggest set of customers out there, and you will appreciate the width of these customers. So we have customers in the manufacturing sector, people who are small steel manufacturers, people who are auto part sort of manufacturers. We have drone manufacturers. We have customers who are a jewelry chain, right? We have customers on the edutech side, e-commerce side, and we have even, dairy farms as our customers.
Okay, wonderful.
So the sheer
range across various sectors.
Absolutely. And like I was saying, that our role has evolved from being just providing fundamental connectivity to solving problems for them. Right. For instance, a steel manufacturer, the problem that they were facing is that the IT setup wasn't supporting their global ambitions, right? In the case of automotive sort of manufacturer, multiple offices, centralized IT resources, and connectivity issues in these sort of multiple offices were creating a sort of a problem for them. The jewelry chain example that I gave you here was a firm which was not able to sort of coordinate its supply because demand wasn't consolidated. And in the example of a dairy farm, here was a dairy farm who was sort of trying to solve the fundamental problem of cattle health.
Mm-hmm.
In the past,
interesting.
We wouldn't have gotten to these areas, but more and more the discussions that we are having are with the business people within an SME sort of organization, and not so much just the admin or the sort of the infrastructure. So it's been a fairly sort of a longest journey full of experiences. I would like to claim that I think we have the pulse of the rapidly evolving SME organization, and therefore are able to position relevant products and services in front of them.
Wonderful. I used to always tell my people back in the earlier organization that I was in, the bank that I was in, that connectivity is by far one of the most important, elements of really bringing an organization together and empowering it. Otherwise, like I used to compare the branches to bricks. You have a lot of bricks strewn around, but unless and until you have very good connectivity, you're not really building a house.
Absolutely.
Okay? And if you're not doing that, then you're not really getting the full potential out of whatever you have. So you provide that connectivity, you provide that platform for them to be really, be able to communicate. Right. And again, without communication, no matter how good you are, you're really not going to come up to potential. So whether it be internal communication, whether it be communication with all of your stakeholders, it could be customers, it could be dealers, suppliers, whatever. Right. You look at whichever area, communication is absolutely key.
Right.
So that's a great role that you are playing.
Right. In fact, ma'am, I often give this example of sort of people perhaps who are not from a technology or a communication background, that a communication network is like a road network.
Absolutely.
If you don't have roads reaching, every bit of the country, how will you run services on it?
True.
Right. So like you very rightly said, I mean, we provide the so-called digital highways for the goods and services to be sort of transacted.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Salesforce also has been extremely interested in this particular segment, and it's the only segment which is separately handled. When we got set up in about 25 years back, we started as a company that was meant to provide customer relationship management solutions for the SME segment. Because Mark Benioff was our founder, he has very lofty aims in the sense that he talks about business as a platform for change. And we have these one by one, ethos, which is basically 1% of our equity, 2% in India because of the Companies Act, 1% of our products and 1% of our time, which means a week of paid leave to our employees to go and serve in the non-profit sector. All of these are given to the non-profit sector, to the community. And starting off from that, it was very important for us to have a separate ESMB outreach and a separate set of products. So we've also been trying very hard to ensure that we address this particular segment because, like you said, they have different challenges.
Yeah.
And these challenges are not the same as the enterprise because they are very dependent on economic cycles. And economic cycles today, as we can see, are becoming faster and faster. Earlier, if there was a downturn, it would go on, and then there's an upturn, and you could rely on it to be around for a while for you to recover. Today, it might sort of go up and down very soon. And how we make these SMEs resilient in the face of that is what I think both our organizations are trying to look for. Because unless we do that, as I said right in the beginning, the contribution we are expecting it to make to the economy, it's not going to happen. And it's not only to the economy. Even if you look at employment, these are the people who provide the maximum amount of employment. It's not the large organizations or the large manufacturing plants.
Yeah.